Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Shall we begin the session now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. My audio is clear, sir. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's crystal clear, sir.
Okay, fine, sir. 2 minutes. I will share my presentation and then. Very good evening, one and all present here. It's a great honor and privilege for me again. For the past 10 days, I'm talking different topics, and you are all supporting my initiative. And it shows that, yes, I have done something for the betterment of my friends and different family members, those are near and dear, and made some input, some awareness during this lockdown period. And the lockdown is extended, and other core team members also express their willingness to take the topic. And tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll have other speakers. And today is my the last presentation for that. And positive psychology, that is optimism and emotions. And yesterday I gave an inputs regarding that what is emotion, the components of emotion, and why we need to focus on the emotion. What is the difference between emotion, feeling, and mood? And these things we were discussed. And today I'm going to give inputs or make you aware about that the positive emotions. As I said earlier, emotions are intense feeling of an individual. It may be love, anger, or sadness, whatever it may be. Maybe on positive or negative. And that the strong feeling a person hold it. And that feeling we will get it through the circumstances, the people, and relationship. These are the main sources of having the emotions. And among the emotions, there are a few studies they come up with, they classify that emotions into positive emotions and negative emotions. What is positive emotions? Any emotion that gives pleasurable experiences, pleasurable happiness to a person who are experiencing that kind of emotions, they are classified or grouped under positive emotions. And other emotions, on the other hand, we feel uncomfortable. We don't want to have those emotions, and we put it in a group called negative emotions. There are certain researchers, still now they are arguing that we should not make a classification of emotions into positive emotions and negative emotions. It is because each emotion has its own values. Each emotion has its own impact on our physical, mental, and emotional health. And we cannot say that 100% the particular emotions is important, other emotions not important. Every emotions are important, but where the positive emotions importance comes in our life, when a person who are experiencing more and more negative emotions, which were listed in that category, and they feel down in energy, and they feel uncomfortable, and they feel distressed, and they notice that, okay, these kind of emotions make a huge impact on one's personality. Why don't we give on priority to that positive emotions? When positive emotions are laid when positive emotions are given priority, when the person who are experiencing positive emotions, and they feel that they feel more comfortable, and not only made uncomfortable, and their comfortable make other people also comfortable. It may be in the family, or it may be in the workplace, or it may be anywhere else. That's why we are focusing on giving priority to that positive emotions. And regarding positive emotions, there are many researchers who gave on inputs, and they have developed theories. Some of the theories, as per my knowledge, I can say Barbara Fredrickson is the one who has done a research on 3 decades. And when we look at that inputs given by Martin Seligman, and Magale, and these were the people who contributed a lot. Now I will start with that studies on positive emotions, which a study which was carried out in the year 2003 by a group of researchers, as he said, the Barbara Fredrickson and her co-researchers. They found that when we increase the positive emotions, when we increase the positive emotion, we can build our physical, intellectual, social, and psychological resources. Merely, we have to experience and developing positive emotions that builds physical, intellectual, social, and psychological resources of an individual. So there is a first benefit. When you want a holistic wellness, we have to understand the positive emotions. One thing. And then another study, and this finding which was reported in the year 2004 as well as in 2010. What was that? Positive emotions can undo, that means eliminate or remove or eradicate the effect of negative emotions which made an individual. For example, worry, anger, that has an effect on a human being. And that effect can be removed by practicing positive emotions. So that is the benefit out of it. Not only that, it promotes resilience. Resilience is bouncing back to the normal, and that can be attained by using positive emotions. So in this study itself, we have discussed 3 research findings which supports why we have to practice positive emotions. There is one more study. Positive emotions can predict the longer lifespan. As I said, that none experiment. And you all know about need not to go for any study. You can look at the people who are long ages, and mostly remember that mostly they are happy persons in their life. And when you want to increase your lifespan, what we have to do, we have to go for experiencing more and more positive emotions. And that was reported in many multiple research studies. They quoted that when we experience, when we develop, when we practice positive emotions, it has a huge impact on our lifespan. Our longevity will be increased. And we will move on another study. The study which was carried out in the year 1993, they found that the positive emotions can broaden our cognitive ability. Broaden means there are certain times we may not have any idea how to solve the problem. We may not have the idea. And here we can find out the people who are practicing positive emotion, they have the clarity and they will have the big picture of the problem what they are holding. And it helps the people accept that greater variety of behavior. They were not limited, no, I will accept only this kind of, they're open to accept all of the behavior. That is another benefit out of having that positive emotions. And the research studies in 2 different occasions of a group of researchers in 2003 and 2010, positive emotions increases in uh, the well-being of employees working in well-being. That's why most of the organization they given focus from that general welfare to emotional welfare of the employees. When they increase the emotional welfare, and they found that the well-being ensured in that employees and the productivity will be increased, and performance-related outcome also increase in an organization. At the same time, there were in the research itself, the employees who are having more or who are experiencing more negative emotions and productivity and the performance related outcomes also lessen. So there are a number of studies are supporting that initiative. We will move another study. And another study in the year 2003, Sheldon and co-authors, and again Barbara Fredrickson in the 1998, positive emotion styles. I think that we are having the different styles, positive emotion styles. It can help prevent and speed up the recovery from the illness. A person who are, for example, someone who got into the viral attack somewhere, something, and if they want to recover from the illness, and if they hold that positive emotion state, they are easily, quickly recover from that. Even for common cold and stress and heart-related diseases were studied earlier, And nowadays, if you make on study on that positive emotions on COVID-19, definitely the same kind of finding may also get. And if you are interested to know about and explore that positive emotions on COVID-19, you can take up the research, and you are having the supporting research finding also here. And the final research study I would like to quote you here. In the year 2011, there are many leaders are there. The leaders who has more positive traits, positive emotions, and they are having more followers than the people who are not having that positive emotions. When we look at that, there are certain leaders are more charismatic and more. Why we follow such a leaders? Because they are holding the positive emotions most of the time. That is the reason. And when you want to have more followers for you, and you must have that positive emotions. Okay. With that, I just given that when we practice positive emotions, what are the benefit? What are the studies which were which shows that these were the benefit we can able to get it. There are research findings. Now I'm going to tell you there are 15 to 18 ways you can the strategies you can adapt, you can practice for developing positive emotions. Okay, one by one. One is on seek distraction. Seek distraction. When we have that negative emotions, certain emotion which is disturbing a lot, we can distract that. Stay busy with any of the activities. For example, many of you are attending the webinar. Definitely, this kind of engagement will help you to distract by yourself. Concentrate on um, other things like working with certain work at your home related to your office, whatever you can do that. And you can engage yourself like daydreaming, visualization. Try to forget that the troubling feelings. You can watch televisions, not much time, and help others. And these were the strategies we can adapt to uh, distract yourself for holding that positive emotion. For example, if you have that most frequent negative emotion, these distraction strategy will help you to focus on the positive side. That is the first strategy. And second one is many of us we forgot to reward ourselves. Even if you have done something good for others, have you said that yes, you have done good for others, and you can do so. Self reward. Engage like certain activities you feel more comfortable. You can do those activities like having fun with your listening music, dancing, socializing, eating, whatever it may be. Which one gives more pleasurable? You can do that. You can give the rewards to yourself. And vent out. It is very important. There are the technical term we are using in psychology is catharsis. Let off the stream. Don't hold it in your mind, in your emotion, in your heart. Just release it. Just release it. Express your feeling to someone who was close. It may be your friend or whatever, your family members or someone. And you can call the counselors. Now the need for counselors are more. It is because, and they are the one who are empathetically listen, and they show their connectedness with the person. They understand that problem very clearly. You can tell the people about the feeling you are having right now. Write suppose if no one is there, there is a situation, what you can do that you can write that feelings in a paper or in a journaling, you can do that. These were some of the strategies you can vent out your feelings. And repress, sometimes it is one of the defense mechanism we can use as a strategy for releasing that negative emotions and focus on the positive emotion. We can suppress the feeling which is harmful for us just then and inhibit that expression of those emotions and try to have that active forgetting process. Use tranquil. Sometimes certain medications will help us to forget those things. I still remember those are having that chronic pain. They cannot be able to tolerate the pain. They will give them that alcohol. Not frequently, but the particular time only they will give. That they will feel more the pain. It's like a painkiller. And act happy. These are the strategy you can use to repress that unwanted behavior. Think positively. I think we had on 5 to 6 days regarding that optimism. We talked a lot about why we have to think positively. Think about that happy things which you had in your life. Look on the brighter side. Every one of us, definitely we may have that brighter side. You just focus on that instead of focusing on the negative side we are having. And focus attention on success in your life, which you have done recently or maybe the past even. You just focus on that and think about that you're going to achieve something in the future. Say yourself, I'm happy. Yes, I can. I will do. I'm good. So these were the words you can frequently say to yourself. Think about that anticipated pleasurable events. Yes, I like to do this kind of activity that you can do. And try your life. What you can do that play down the bad feelings. Just live it. Okay. And it is not about the bad as seems. Sometimes we can have the time for that negative feeling experiences also. When there is a down, there is an up will come. Ups and down. Downs are negative feeling, ups are positive feeling. And this need to be equally important for having that we enjoy our life. And when you had an use the humors, that is the best way to counter that. And you can check with someone, they may have that more problem than what you have. Seek relaxation technique. There is a number of relaxation techniques are there: breathing exercises, meditation, yoga, Jacobs and progressive muscle relaxation. Recently, we are attending that yoga nitra. There are many strategies are there. You can take any one of the relaxation techniques. Use relaxation techniques. There are many stress management activities are there. Learn as a one or two techniques which you feel more comfortable. Take the stretching exercises and breathing control, as you said. And these were the things that will stimulate endorphin. It is a natural way you are stimulating your endorphin level, and that will help you to tolerance level, the resilience level. Okay. And once after the relaxation, what you can then you can go for a refreshment. Sometimes you feel something down, you can go for it, take a shower, take a bath, and you can play water, go outside with your friends and family members, get some fresh air. These were the things for your doing your refreshment that activities you can take up for experiencing positive emotions and reduce demand. There are lots and lots of workload will be there. Even when you systematically plan, there may be new added thing will come that will increase your workload. Try to cut down the workload. Walk away from that work what you are doing, that give a space for yourself. Abandon or cancel or postpone the activities associated with the responsibility which you have taken. You need not to get a good name from all the persons. It is not possible. If you do so, and you are cheating yourself, you can give a time for yourself. And lower aspiration level, sometimes that need to be done. And you can fix that if it is on 12 months. For 2 months, you must have that lower level of aspirations. And another strategy is avoid new demands. Make resolution that be an assertive to say that no, I'm having some other engagement. Once I've done that, only I can able to do that. Avoid demanding situations. There are certain employees, certain environment that they demand you have to do that. To avoid such a demanding situations and the responsibilities and the activities in your family, in your community level. Turn down the request. Okay, assertively, politely say that sorry. And withdraw yourself. That is another strategy. Try to be alone. As I said, not to be 24/7 or 12 into 360 per day. Here, what I'm trying to say that you must have a certain time for your loneliness and not talk to the people. That is the time, for example, you think that you are doing the mindfulness or meditation, just in a place you can do that. Avoid eye contact during that when you do the withdrawal and something who are giving negative energy, negative feeling to you, and they are the trigger for that. Avoid eye contact. Put out leave your phones. Avoid stimulations, maybe are natural or artificial or technology. Just avoid those stimulations and close curtains. Keep yourself and stay at home. Withdraw from the other members and eliminate energy drainers. Very important. There are certain things that will eliminate, reduce our. We feel more uncomfortable sometimes when they make a noise. When something we hear it, unwanted thing, noise, bad smell. Sometimes the smell which we are fragrance in the floral therapy and aromatherapy is very popular. And certain smell, when you correlate with the particular experiences, negative experience, mean that will stimulate. So you just find out that which one you feel more comfortable. And bright lights, yes, it is good. When you are having the sleep disturbances, you can focus on bright light in the daytime. Otherwise, stay away from the bright light. And the loud noises, loud music, you need to be eliminated in your workplace or in your daily life. And take a rest. It's very important. Take a break as much as possible. Earlier we had an time, but many people feel that now they are taking almost all the day are taking a rest. But even though the workload is increased, I can give some of my colleagues feedback. They said that before COVID-19, the face-to-face classes, they had a less workload. But now, when they announce that work from home and they are working not only in the fixed time interval, and the work are taken from them at any time. It is beyond the 8 hours. Close your eyes, focus, and do the mindful practices. If you feel that little sleepy, and we had an exercise like yoga and you can take a nap and go to the bed early. That's very important. I still remember, I check with myself. I can say from my personal experiences. When I was doing my college day, I still remember after 9, we won't be there. It's very difficult to wake up. But now, getting into sleep, it takes nearly 1 a.m. or nearly 2 a.m. in the morning. So the change is happening. And if it is happening me, for that young generation also have same kind of problem. Most of the time we are engaging with the gadgets. You can take the risk, and there are certain rules and regulations you have to frame for your family. What you can do that a particular time you are not supposed to use the mobile phone, especially in your, if you have a dedicated room for bedroom, and when you entering into the room, you keep your mobile phone aside. You are not supposed to take that. When you have these kind of rules, and you can ensure your rest. The many people say that they're taking the risk, but they are not more energy. The next one is energize yourself. Do the exercise that gives more energy. And almost as per the presentation what I made, nearly 100 plus 150 plus webinar session, I found that all the mental health practices, it may be depression, anxiety, stress, grief, whatever it may be, all the thing when we want to manage, the one common thing is almost all the thing we can find that is an exercise. Exercise and then went out. These were the three things very common. And eat something to have that energy in your body. And don't break that the time interval. When you feel hungry, you can do that. Otherwise, you can follow the time interval thing. When you feel that when you want to show more energy for your presentation, or you can take coffee or caffeinated drinks and seek social support. It's very important. You at least you have that 5 to 10 minutes in a day. You can connect with your friends. During that time, you can ask help if you are not able to solve any kind of problem in your life. You can ask help, or else you can, if you know the answer for the problem of someone else, you can give the answer for the solution for them. Those people who are having the problem. Look for advice and guidance, and then pray for help. And finally, it is an rationalized, logical thing. Why the particular feeling we are having? Why? Okay, there may be a trigger, and when you know that, you can able to understand that okay, these kind of things, if you avoid those negative feelings, will not come. We have to treat more as an in the abstract mode, that is a longer period of time. So somewhere if there is a connection, we can find out. And there are many informations which is related to that mood. Collect it, try to understand the feeling and mood. Okay, these were the triggers. When we avoid, or we have develop yourself the coping mechanism to counter that the feeling. Analyze. It is do research by yourself. Analyze the situation and determine the cause for that mood you are having for longer term. You can, when you want to check that there is a change, you can track your mood by diary, by recording that modes. That you can make it and use biofeedback system. That is an amazing thing that you can make it and transform creativity. Express the writing about your mood. You're releasing that. You feel that immediately after doing that, you feel relaxed. So there are many creative art, creative movement, creative dance, creative music, or whatever it means. When you involve in that, you feel relaxed, you feel more comfortable. And these were the strategies that will help us. And then finally, embrace, allow yourself to enjoy that. Allow the fat belly. For example, worry time in a particular day, you can have for at least 10 minutes for worry. Accept and appreciate the mood, maybe positive or negative. Detach yourself from that self and mood. Sometimes you may have that negative mood and you detach yourself, do practice meditation and engage mindfulness. Focus on only one activities. In the beginning time, it is very difficult for you. When you do that, the practice over a period of time, we come to know that allow all the sensory inputs and one part of when you close your eyes, you are cut down 87% of stimulus, merely closing your eyes and engage in if you have that religious belief and you can engage yourself for spiritual activity and that also focus on one thing and these all the 20 strategies were recorded and which were researched and they published in a research journal and whatever I said here based on the research inputs given by the researcher and with that I can stop here and today I just give an inputs regarding the studies which was carried out on the positive emotions and how positive emotion has an impact on one's person. And second, we discussed about the strategy on seek, that means relief, restore, balancing that, and building resilience. So these were the components. There are 20 strategies we can adapt to build our positive emotions in a person. So thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I will try to give answer for your questions. Thank you. Or else you can come up with and you can add on your own experiences or you can add your personal experiences. If you come to know that, you can unmute yourself and you can share here. Thank you all. Thank you.
Hello, sir. I have
Yes.
a question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, one of the strategies you told to repress or suppress the feelings, sir, isn't
Yeah.
that a day like if a negative thing to do, like to suppress a feeling or emotion?
For that generally it is not advisable, but sometimes we need to suppress. Sometimes it is a defense mechanism. Defense mechanism will work out to safeguard us. For example, if there is a danger, what will happen? Our parasympathetic system will be, the sympathetic system will be activated. Am I right? Likewise, when we are exposed to more negative things and something which we feel uncomfortable, their defense mechanism unconsciously will come. If you are not doing consciously, for example, if you broken something, if someone asks you who has done, no, I don't know. So that is the thing. That's a defense mechanism. So it is good in the beginning days when we are not having that clear-cut idea how to resolve the problem, and that time we can use that represent as a defense mechanism. Yeah.
Sir, just like once again, can you just tell like when
See,
till what level is it safe to use
yeah,
repress and
yeah. In the beginning time, now for temporary relief, if you are looking for the temporary relief, and that context we can use as an one of the strategy. But when you know that and a right strategy, an appropriate strategy to counter those negative emotions, that feeling which gives uncomfortable experiences, and certain strategies are there where you can visualization and whisper and there are many techniques are there. You can use that when you are not aware about it. Immediately, what we'll do by unconsciously it is there in your system that will activate defense mechanism for temporary relief. What I can say it is a first aid. In that situation, yes, you can do that. Nothing wrong in it. But for longer solution for the problem, we have to immediately after that present defense mechanism, we have to find out a right intervention strategy.
Sir, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening.
Sir, I wanted to know what is biofeedback system.
Biofeedback system is, um, for example, when we look at your body, when you notice your body, you come to know that there is a change in your heart rate, and there is a change in your thought process. You can change in your muscles, change in your color tone, and this is called biofeedback. When you look at that, and from which we can find out, okay, uh, the person having the problem, the person experiencing something uncomfortable. So that is called biofeedback, and that can be done using that. Now the devices are there. Best one is for example, that smartwatches that will give more inputs on biofeedback. Your heart rate, your brain waves, and everything we can able to get.
That means
And
biofeedback means our functioning of our this brain, heart,
yes,
lungs,
all,
liver, kidney.
yes.
This is biofeedback system.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot for the wonderful session, sir. Could you
Thank you.
please explain about psychosomatic disorder?
It is a well question, ma'am. Psychosomatic disorder are the disorders when the general physician, when they try to find out the root cause from any kind of problem, if they couldn't find out, for example, I'm having the uh, migraine for longer period of time, and they are taking that all the tests, and biologically and chemically, biochemically, there is no disturbance for your migraine, and such a things we can go for the secondary inputs from that psychosomatic symptom. Psychosomatic symptom means there are childhood traumatic experiences. The person which was not experienced in the beginning itself. Okay, they suppressed a longer period of time. They are not releasing it. And such thing and later stage that will become a psychosomatic symptom. I think in my presentation itself, many of the time I told that the classical case study of Annavo, and she had a problem. She cannot coherently talk, and she cannot move certain body parts, and she had a pain in her body. And she approached many physicians when they look at her problem, and they said that, okay, you are completely all right. Don't worry about it. And when she met Sigmund Freud, and he used the catharsis, bring her repressed experiences which was there for longer period of time, and he consciously bring it to re-experiencing and releasing it, re-experience it and releasing those repressed experiences, feelings the person who had, and she felt very comfortable, and she relieved from all her problem, and those symptoms are called psychosomatic symptoms. And medically, if you are not able to give evidence or proof for that particular problem, and that will come under psychosomatic symptoms. And mostly, when you look at the people who are having that alcohol consumption, I still remember many of my close friends I know, they will say that they are having the the pain is there. But when they take the test, electrocardiogram, and they say that there is no problem at all. But the people who are having that, so that we can say that psychosomatic symptoms. Yes.
Good evening, Dr. Suresh. Excellent session. I have two clarifications.
Yes,
One
ma'am.
is, what is the difference between the detachment and withdrawal?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
And the second strategy is repress, and sometimes it leads to stress. So how to overcome that?
Ma'am, regarding the second question, I would like to give the answer. The repression, as I said, it is a defense mechanism. When we don't have that appropriate treatment plan or coping mechanism, then we have to go for it. And if we know, and if we are having that support system, then we can go for that appropriate measures. That is the one thing I would like to say here. For the first one, it is an withdrawal and detachment. See, withdrawal is but these two terms are, when we look at that, synonymously having the same kind of meaning.
Right.
Yes, am I right, ma'am? And fight or flight, there is a response, they will say. When we are having the signs and symptoms of problem, there are two ways we can counter. One is on fight or flight. Withdrawal is flight.
Thank you.
Yeah, and detachment is something, ma'am, that can be spiritual way of looking at that problem. Yeah, alternate, the spiritual way. See, instead of focusing on, we are detaching from that, we are focusing on that.
Sometimes when we detach, what
Yes.
happens? Subconsciously or unconsciously, it will wander,
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
isn't
So,
it? So
yes.
how to overcome it? We
Yeah.
think we have to be detached or we have to give it up. But unconsciously, subconsciously, it will be wandering in our mind. It may disturb our sleep sometimes.
Yeah, true. And for this one, ma'am, I think recently we had an workshop on that therapeutic techniques, and yeah, the dedicated a technique is there, as per my knowledge, push button technique.
Oh, push
See,
button technique. Fine.
push button technique, in which visualization, when we practice it, we can easily cut down those negative emotions, ma'am.
Thank you.
And the person are having the control over that, both positive emotions as well as negative emotions. Thank you, ma'am. That is a very good question, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. I think if you have any questions, and I try to give the answer for the questions. Yeah, I will do share that link for today's feedback. You can check it in the chat box now. For feedback and e-certificate. You can use the link. And if there is no more questions or no more inputs regarding today's presentation, we can go for vote of thanks, concluding the session now. I request Dr. Salim sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh Kumar sir. It was a very wonderful session about the emotions, and with the continuation of yesterday's session. Yesterday, you very well explained about like emotions, strong feelings, components, and the evaluation of emotions, how from 1800 by Thomas, how it was started, and biological association, and brain chemicals, a lot of things and the components particularly explained. Today we learned a lot about positive emotions, and you rightly explained about we want the holistic health. Definitely, we should have the positive emotions. That is the formula you given to us, and with a lot of inputs and studies. I think 6-7 studies you given the input how it will reflect in life. We are having the positive emotions. Like Danner in 2010, one he talked about if you want a longer lifespan, we record the positive emotions. And 1993, you said broaden our cognition, thinking pattern. It will thinking, and like if you are having the emotional style, we can prevent and we can quickly recover from the illness. That was a study from the Sultan. So there is a lot of studies you explained, and it shows some more strength and more strong supportive of the positive feelings, and really very good. We thank God, sir. We learned a lot of almost 20 strategies to develop these positive emotions you explained. It is a very wonderful points, and regarding that, lot of participant asked a question about the suppression and detachment and withdrawal. So it shows all the participants they keen on the strategies, and I think they learned a lot about from seeking distraction to transforming creativity and embracing detachment, all the strategies. So thank you very much, sir. And definitely, we will try to implement for the betterment of our life as well as our family members, and we will transfer this knowledge to the society, to whoever even the well-wisher, friends, all those, everybody. It's our duty, it's our pleasure also. Kindly accepted our gratitude on behalf of American College Madurai and Red Pond Psychology and Research Center Madurai, and MS Chellamuthi Institute Madurai, and Madras School of Social Work Chennai, and Psycho-Oncology in Turkey. Thank you all the participants for the wonderful traveling with us. Thank you, Suresh Kumar sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And there are many of them are saying that from the voice itself, if there is any problem with you, they are asking personally in the chat also. Thank you. They know that thing. I'm little tired because I had an 4 to 5 session today. Nothing. I will come back with more energy in the coming days. Thank you all for your concern and care.
Thank you. This feedback link is not opening, sir. Can you please check it, sir?
Please wait for. I check with that coordinator, technical person, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Otherwise, we can put in the